is my final magazine spread. Let's say, for argument's sake, that this is signed off by the client. And I'm ready now. So I'm ready now. This is signed off. I'm ready to package it all up. So if I go File and Package, okay. Right, now I've done this on purpose. Can you guys all see there's a little kind of warning there? So what it's doing is, up here in Summary, it'll kind of list everything. It'll say like 4 fonts used, none are missing, none are embedded. Links and images, there's one link. I only have this one photograph. So you can see there's some sort of warning up here. And if I look down, it's saying one uses RGB color space. So there's something dodgy going on there. If I'm going to send this to print, it can't be RGB. Everything else looks okay. Let's just click into fonts. So what it's telling me is there was 4 fonts. So I'm using Avenir Book, Heavy, Light, and Orator Standard Medium. So they're all okay. They're all on the machine. You would know, in InDesign when let's say I take this file and I go onto a different computer and it doesn't have this typeface. It shows up highlighted red anyway. So you'd have an idea that the typefaces are missing. Let's go into links and images because it told me that there was some warning there. And actually I've got another warning. It's warning me up here again. So it's saying this is portrait.jpg, right? So it's a JPEG RGB file. So there's an issue there. Now, if I just packaged that up anyway and sent it to the printer, they wouldn't be too happy, okay? Now, there's only one image, but let's say for argument's sake, this was a magazine with hundreds of images and half of them were all JPEGs and they were all RGB. They'd be fairly fed up with you if you sent them that. Let's go into colors and inks. There's nothing, everything here. You don't need to know what all of this actually means, but, just... There's no external plugin. So I'm just going to cancel out of that. So I'm not going to package it up yet because there is something I have to fix up. So I happen to have, this is the picture and I found it and I've opened it up in Photoshop. So I can see up the top here it's RGB. So the first thing I'm going to do is image mode. We'll change it to CMYK. I'm just going to click OK on that. And then I'm going to save it as a TIFF instead. So File, Save As. And instead of a JPEG, I'll go TIFF. And make sure you save it in the exact same folder. So let me go back. I save everything in the student folder, the folder with my name on it. It is InDesign Mag Spread, I think. Images. No, I've been saving it in this folder here. So it's portrait.tiff. Let's just save it. Now, when you're saying, like, you guys have, I've made sure that you guys have all saved everything as TIFFs anyway, but if for some strange reason you happen to have a JPEG or some other file in there, when you're saving it as a TIFF, make sure you click Macintosh if you're on a Mac. If anyone's on their PC laptops, obviously leave it like this, but I'm going to click Macintosh and click OK. If I come down here to InDesign, if I go to Window and Links, okay, RGB. Let's update this link. Okay, images, portrait. No, portrait.tiff. That's it there. Okay, so that looks okay now. If I know that I don't want that JPEG in there, I want the TIFF that I saved. So I can come up to this little hamburger menu and go relink. And now I've updated it. And actually you can see down here, it's the TIFF, it's got CMYK, everything looks good. Let's go back up and package that. If I go File, Package, so it should be ready, no warnings, that looks good. If I go into Links and Images, CMYK, fonts are all good. So let's go, we'll package that up, okay? Okay, so I need to save it first. Okay, so this is the first thing that pops up. It's called Printing Instructions. If I were you guys, I would get used to filling this in, okay? So you can leave it as instructions.txt if you want. I'm going to put my name in as the contact at CDCFE, address. No, I'm not going to put that in. We just put Dublin. Phone. Fax. Does anyone use fax? No. Email me at me.com. And instructions. So you might put in A5 44-page catalogue, 180 gram stock, you know, so you'd put in kind of instructions on kind of what you're doing. Saddle stitched, S-T-I-T, saddle stitched. What else do we know about this? 44 pages, 180 grams stock, saddle stitch, quantity 250, and so on. Okay, spelling that right will be good. So let's go continue. Okay, so what it's asking you is, where do you want to save this? Okay, now I'm going to make a new folder to save this in. I'm going to go back into student. I'm going to go Helen. I'm going to call it final catalogue for print, something like that. So I know this is the one, it's going to the printers. Let's go create. So it's asking me, what do I want to copy? Do I want to copy the fonts, the linked graphics, which is the images? We only have one. I'm going to copy that. Update graphic links in package. Now we just updated it, but you know, just in case, you have to remember this again, it could be hundreds of images. So if one or two have been updated, I think we leave that on. Include PDF print. Yeah, let's do it. And let's set it to high quality. And the instructions, let's do that. So we packed it up. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. That could say this machine is about to blow up in any minute. And I just clicked OK. Let's go down and we'll have a look. If I go into student, Helen, what did I call it? Final catalogue. Okay, so everything is here. Okay. It's collected up any fonts that I needed. It's collected up the one image that I have. Now, again, in theory, there could be hundreds of them. And what if you accidentally saved one in a funny folder somewhere, you know? So it'll go around your machine and it'll kind of hoover all of them up. It's made a PDF of it. You could not bother with that, but, you know, why not include it? Here is all the instructions. You know, it'll put extra things in that it's made in Adobe InDesign. It'll put all the contact information in, phone number, any sort of special instructions. So that's pretty much it. This is also, it'll put the actual InDesign file in there. So it's really handy when you guys get the sign off from your client. Do that little process, okay? The PDF that it's going to produce, I need that, okay? And let me just stop this.